on, especially within their attacking side. And well, that's where they're going to be starting, Mitch. We're straight in.
Oh, we are. It looks like they're picking up the pace here. Gambit, usually a slow team, but on this pistol, they want to pressure this A site. A wall already down and an opening as Kesnet falls. That new agent of Cypher not doing too much for him in this pistol. Nats is in a bit of trouble, but he bails out. And even after putting the wall down, Gambit are switching up the pace, moving towards this B side. But Delzik is ready, taking down a double and holding strong in this connector position. He'll eventually fall and leave his team in a 2v3.
Yeah, it's looking for the fight back now. Redgar's taken space on the site and he's left Nats to sort of lurk behind. It's what he does best, but it's something that will be expected. Dink initially hit, and he's looking to try and take down Naxxit, who is currently fighting against him. It's still awkward though, because Redgar is trapped within this site, and if he goes down, round is over.
Yeah, with him down, this is looking really tough. Nats is up against a Sheriff that's one hit for him. He's managed.
They must have put some work in, and hey, a pistol to start, not bad.
Yeah, they've definitely put a lot of work into this map. There's no way that you let it slip through, and you have to remember, KRÜ, they've got to be feeling untouchable at this point. They're taking down Masters finalists. They're taking down, potentially, the defending champions. I mean, they certainly feel like it's possible coming into this. Now, Gambit have not bought much. They're on just pistols, but they're grouped up. They're using that pack mentality. Kesnet's made a risky decision going into this close corner, but they haven't checked it. That's a double, and indeed 4 kills for Kesnet. That's a pretty damn good start for him on this map.
He's almost got his neural theft. What
Game
a
changer, isn't
big
it?
ult to have early on.
So they've got their shields for this round. It's going to be a really strong bonus for KRÜ. Again, they don't expect to win this one, but with what they've got, holding those choke points, there's a lot of potential for them to at least do damage to Gambit.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. We're looking at Gambit now, how they're actually going to respond. And in the early round, just taking space. But it's a lot more passive, at least from most of the players. But Nags, how's he already here? He's pushed all the way through tube. He's got a perfect flank and a weapon upgrade as well. So a huge start to this round already. He's completely cleared out A. So there's so much information right now for KRÜ, and Gambit need to try and recover.
Yeah, I mean, look at the previous round. KRÜ plays super passive inside of halls, and this time they get right up in their face. Weapon upgrade, Bulldog for one of his teammates potentially, and a lot of map control. Nags still holding on to it, was just seconds away from a duel with Redgar, but they've missed each other. And so that spike will be picked up, and Gambit have to look to take it somewhere else. You know, their slow, defaulty play, they still didn't catch the aggression on this big map of Breeze.
Well, that's the thing. Right now, they're very tentative. You can watch the players on the map just trying to almost spot out if there's been any further aggression, because in a round like this, as we said, it's expected because of what's currently on the table for KRÜ. Now, they're looking to try and split through, but the cam has given them away. Straight away, the rotation cards starts coming through from CT, and well, it's not gone amazingly for Gambit. In fact, they've lost a couple now.
The trap wire's at least gone, but with that snake bite down, Redgar's in trouble. The headshot connected. He needed it. Still, though, is it going to be enough? Gambit making it to the site. The spike still needs to be planted with just 10 seconds left. A headshot connected. Nats on 2 HP. Both of these players are so low. Nags in with a potential clutch. A 1v1. Both players have the Vandal looking for the headshot. The spray is not good, but Nags will get a second chance. He's even spotted Redgar moving to the back of the site. He has a good idea where this player is. The recon going out to trade over the information. The peek, but Nags comes out on top. This man has struggled on the...
In the back of my head, I'm like, are they though?
Dude, I've said it before. We've all said it. The improvement of KRÜ has been a wonder to behold. Gambit upping the pace. My God, this is a quick round. They've got the weaker weapons, and they're closing the distance. Defo already deleting Kesnet, and on the back side, Delzik will try his best to hold on, but he's just overwhelmed. Gambit have got the site, and KRÜ have to fight back into a 2v4.
Yeah, this was a huge change of pace to what we normally see from Gambit. Nice start, though, from Nags. Rounding the corner, there was an opportunity. But now it has to be the clutch. He's already managed to come.
Now, Gambit have got their first round.
I think that's been the thing out of all that has impressed me most with Gambit this tournament. Sure, you've got the likes of Defo performing to an incredible stand. I think Chronicle has had one of his best tournaments ever as well. We saw interviews about it. But the main thing has been Redgar's calling. I think he's been super adaptive this event, and that's going to be one of the toughest things for KRÜ, is that they are now not afraid to go for these incredibly fast-paced rounds and then fall back into something like this where they're much calmer Oh, it spiked me by the last second.
So yeah, we had the double bounce shock dart down through the tube. This is just to give you that little sound cue, that notification that, yes, you have destroyed the trap wire that's there. That's going to cause a problem for Kesnet moving into future rounds, but right now he's got a bigger problem. Shados is looking to get aggressive and push up into him, but Kesnet was ready, sitting inside that Viper orb, taking the kill, and indeed the neural death will be deployed for the information. Nags has gotten aggressive to find Redgar and the spike.
Yeah, they have to go back for this. And he's not left. I believe he might even still have his dash online, so he doesn't actually have to escape this until afterwards. And okay, sure, Gambit managed to reclaim the spike, but it's 35 seconds, Mitch. They have got so much still to do.
They know seeing Nags go that aggressive that he has a teammate covering his side, but they weren't expecting Mazzino to be right up in their face. A beautiful one for Mazzino. That Gambit won't do it, because why would he put it there 2 rounds in a row when it got destroyed last one? We're starting things off here, though. Tech pause subsided. KRÜ are ready to continue this winning streak with 4-1 on the board. When we left, they bounced back from a round loss, but now they're up against a fully ult stacked Gambit.
Yeah, this is a very scary round right now for KRÜ, and well, I'm sure after they hear the Blade Storm pop, they've realized it. So much more passive. Look how far back they're holding in comparison to some of the previous rounds where they've been pushing up, taking map control. This time they're sat back and waiting because they don't want to give anything up to Gambit. Now, in essence, this could end up playing into Gambit's favor, because that's been the problem so far. All of this aggression, they've been caught off by. They've been pushed pretty much every single round, and kills have gone their way. And Kesnet is already in a lot of trouble. That's a 1-4-5, Mitch.
It absolutely is. Here's the trap wire, though. They've gone up and above it, but that's just going to give Kesnet the double spray. Shados down. And although Kesnet falls in the end, still have that advantage to play with in through the... Oh no, you're not going to win that fight down.
Is sick. There's no doubt about it. But it is just his decision making in 0.1 of a second. Like, okay, kill that guy back down. Like, unreal.
So again, we're seeing that trap wire place. Now obviously this is because Kesnet's playing towards the B side. He wouldn't have time to place it deeper and run back, but with it being destroyed, again, they're going to have to commit players towards that part of the map. Mazzino's being taken down immediately. Recon not going to get them anything on this one, and Shados has a great... Oh, a Viper's Pit inside of Hull to keep control. It also allows them to step out down to the stairs. That's a pretty interesting ult, because it doesn't give you, like, it doesn't block off a whole lot of space, but it's going to really bother KRÜ, because they're losing information, they're losing a lot of control, and as they commit all these players to cover it, Gambit just walk right into B.
It is a weird ult. In fact, they're not going to use it at all. It's just a complete ruse.
Oh, he's dropped it. Nats has dropped the ult and then sat in the corner trying to bait them into thinking that he's rotated with his team as the spike is planted. But now he's going to try this late round backstab. They seem to expect it, though. This is going to be a tough fight for Nats. He's not looking. Klaus has caught him.
They expect the lurker of Nats every single time at this point, and it's come back into, well, now a 2 versus 1. Klaus, the man to take him out, has to try and get another couple more. Already in a pretty decent advantage into
spot to try and repeat that sort of strategy. I think KRÜ can feel happy now that for the next couple of rounds, they won't face what they just lost to there.
I think it's going to be another fast push, although I will say that Shados has already been caught out. There's some information from the knife on the side of Mazzino, and it actually completely halts the push. They're not going to go in off of this. I wonder if it may have caught Viper as well, and then they didn't have the screen to actually entry in. It could have made a fairly big difference, and now they're moving in to Nags, but this time he won't connect. Oh! What is that? He goes back, re-peeks and gets 2. That is filth.
That's disgusting. The double opening on the buy round of Gambit, really putting them on the back foot right away. They've got their mid control, but at what cost? KRÜ will just sit back and wait, deploy the Gambit strategy. You come to me. And, well, they do, with Kesnet falling over on the stairs. Klaus hasn't been detected. He's going to put up his drone. That's 2 players spotted. Good information, and Nags continues to frag. 3 kills on the board in this round. This is by far the best that I've seen this guy perform, and what a time to step it up.
Yeah, what do the remaining players even do? They have no map control. Left. One all the way back is Nat. Together, move together.
2 by 2. Got 10 people. Hey, let's go. But that's a lot of people. That's what we love to see, man. Get the fans out. I can't wait. Hopefully next year we get them into an arena as well. See all y'all in person. But for now, we at least get to see the players. I tell you what, KRÜ are smiling pretty big.
Yeah, it's been a rough start for Defo. 1-8. He's been one of the star performers for them so far in this tournament, and in fact, one of the only rounds they won was him getting an entry kill. Other than that, he's been deadly quiet. Now again, they're looking to try and pressure onto Chu. This man has no fear! Through the poison orb and right back out. That is all the Viper utility gone. They expect the push, but Shados has managed to get the trade. It doesn't last a particularly long time though, and again, they've got some decent map control here on the Gambit side. It's just how do they actually use it?
This is an incredible start for Nags. You can't give this guy enough credit. You see him fired up, going through a poison orb down to 30 HP by the time he peeks in. Chronicle will catch Mazzino getting a little too curious, though. That's the numbers evened up, and Gambit have I was going to say a wide spread of control, but now Shados is down, and this really splits them out. Both players on the other sides of the map. In fact, if you take a look, Nags has no idea that Redgar is creeping out onto the site. They were distracted by Chronicle's B attempt, and now Klaus is going to be left alone. He's done well on the start of this round, but a 1v2 to win if he wants to put 7 on the board for KRÜ.
He's got a decent amount of utility, but it's not really given him much information whatsoever. The shot to try and mask the fall, and he will spot Redgar. Should have a decent idea that Chronicle's going to be rotating through. His teammate died to him just moments ago, and is trying to just bait someone into the peak. Not quite
rest of these rounds, considering this is their strong half, and we don't know what to expect from KRÜ on the attack. Considering what I've seen so far, I'm pretty afraid, and it looks like a repeat of round 2. Nags it round 3 rather. He's going to be running down through holes. We're shifting with the Blade Storm in hand, and it's the same man hiding around the corner. Chronicle coming back. Does he expect this? Well, it doesn't matter, because Nags is just that little bit too quick.
It's exactly the same. He then runs back through A, completely fine. They've spotted the push up mid. Now Defo, for the first time, has actually got himself an operator.
Did tag Mazzino earlier down to 30.
Good flash, but doesn't really benefit off it. I think he's just used it to cross into the site to bolster up that B defense after they pretty much know at the moment at least that A is completely fine because they've cleared out everything else.
Yeah, look at those ultis, man. KRÜ got the ability to fight back into these sites if they need. Using like the likes of a Viper utility or anything like that can be countered out by Mazzino. In fact, he pops that ultimate right now. He's on 30 HP, so he can fight with his teammates, and if he goes down, they can pick him back up, but now he's isolated on the site. They look to fight in towards the spawn, but Nags is here.
Pushing forward. But the fact is, it's not been in this manner, and it's not been so consistently, and it's not been catching them anywhere near as much.
Yeah, I'm so impressed. I was just scrolling through some of the stats from Nags, and this is the best start to a game we've seen from him, period. Oh, that Hunter's Fury catches Delzik with the second. Viper's Pit down and out, exactly right. Mazzino up close is probably the only hope here. He had a chance, he had an angle, but Chronicle will take him down. Avoiding the Leer wasn't quite enough this time around, and the shot's really not connecting. It's an off round from KRÜ, and Gambit capitalized instantly with a plant on the site. It's a 4v2, but a lot of these players are low, Tom.
He's just top of your kit. Doesn't even stop for a second. Maybe expecting them to all be on the site already, but Kesnet wanted to try and win that one out. He would have to ace. That's what we're looking at here, Mitch.
5 and 17 HP?
He's being flanked.
He can definitely win this if the timing is right. There's no way that flank is going to go back through elbow. Nags is free to at least take a fight onto site. The problem is the player waiting for him there is Nats. 125 health, headshot needed. If Nags wants to win this out, and he's got it. The ace now, very possible. Less than 30 HP between the final two, but he has no information on where they are, and that's going to be the real crutch for him here. Clearing out all these angles just costs so much time, and there's a recon ready to reveal him on the back. He taps it again, waits for someone to peek on out, but they're rotating. The time's already gone. It's
one of the main successes, and well, the fact that they managed to get a 4th round again with some weaker weaponry is huge for Gambit, but they haven't strung any rounds together thus far.
I love our observers, man. That was such a beautiful angle. Watching the arc of the utility come over, it's obviously going to put up the poison orb to allow the push through middle. Kesnet knows it. Information conveyed. You're going to see Klaus move around towards the spawn, so he's trying to get another angle, defending the flank through A, and maybe even popping his drone, his recon, in fact his drone, yes, on its way now, clearing this out, seeing nobody's around, but they're waiting for a cycle of utility. They're waiting for Nats to have all of his toxins back online, then they'll activate it, give themselves the most time possible to make this play through mid, and an advanced trapwire. They've spotted it, they've destroyed it, the flash is good, Kesnet's under a lot of pressure on the fall back, and he still gets away with 2!
How does he manage to get multi-frags in these positions? It doesn't matter though. Chronicle has instantly found a response. Klaus still fighting though, and he's got the Hunter's Fury. It's the last round. He might as well try and pop it, but gets absolutely nothing from it. Chronicle, he now needs to come up with an ace. Both players coming from the spawn. Did it twice ever.
That is
just for anybody wondering at home.
And they've been banning it. This is the thing. They've been actively banning it. And now they come in and you can see they saved it up. Here we go. A fast push coming out of KRÜ. Gambit have managed to get Chronicle behind enemy lines. There's no one even paying attention to him. He gets a kill and is still left alone. 3 for him in this round. And a pistol round that Gambit very much needed will go in their favor. Unless Kesnet's got something incredible. Oh, no. What is going on? 18 HP left, a 1v2, and all of a sudden, within seconds, I'm eating my words.
That was 3 people trying to trade each other, and he won every single duel. Like, even if he doesn't manage to win it, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever, and it has to be just so demoralizing for the side of Gambit that these things keep happening. It's a 1 versus 5. He's now brought it down to just 2, Mitch.
This is incredible. And they're not even watching him as he comes up. Nats is turning to see it, and another headshot delivered.
No.
1 shot is all that's needed for Chronicle. A 4K for him, an ace for Kesnet. The camera not going to spot him just yet. He knows exactly where he was, but Chronicle will fall back, moving to the back of this. They're clipping it. You know
they were already clipping it.
I've tried before. I've tried to beg Joey or whoever we have on the day to take, not put a replay on him. It just guarantees it. Oh, God. Defo opening this one up. Double marshals to play with. Nags on the other side has one of his own, but obviously with no shields on anybody for KRÜ, this being an eco for the most part. 1 shot from a marshal and they're down. And indeed, these Spectres will have an even easier time.
Yeah, these are the sort of rounds that Gambit really do want to be keeping squeaky clean. Now, one of the things I really want to highlight going into this map, especially on the defensive side, is actually going to be Chronicle. Because he previously tried to play a Killjoy, it went incredibly well. He then switched over to Skye, and it kind of went even better. Like, the man somehow manages to defend that site with purely just like information, like tech alongside him. So I'm really excited to see how that's going to work, because one of the things is we know that KRÜ are incredibly fast, incredibly aggressive with their takes. So if he can delay and get info at the same time, it's going to be really important for their defensive side.
You know, this is the money-making round for Gambit. Nags just wants...
Very careful, because Gambit don't really have the sort of players that will get in their own head and just dip out of the game completely, especially once the half switches.
No dash for Defo on this mid-peak. But it's going to come back now. In just a moment. KRÜ not looking to get aggressive, not looking to punish any sort of aggro out of Gambit, assuming that with these weaker weapons, they'll try to take a little bit of space, a little bit of control, and they'll play the late round. I like this from KRÜ. You can see they've just got a blanket approach, covering every single angle. You know what? They're paying a lot of attention to Tube, just in case someone comes running down.
Yeah, they don't want to make the same mistake. The position, though, from Nats, again, is just going to give so much information over. It does look like they're almost just attempting to play this as a B retake, which is going to be a lot easier said than done with the weaponry they currently have. And
yeah,
I wouldn't mind this in a normal round. In this sort of round, I feel like it's purely because they're playing a bonus. They've gone for an incredibly big risk. Well, there you go. Chronicle knows, but what can he do about it? But he's going to peek in. All right. He's just taken off the head of Delzik.
Yeah, good info on the knife from Mazzino. Utility to the backside. Anybody that was there was in a lot of trouble. But they still managed to find the one as they cross over. It's the opening that Gambit wanted with the Vandal. Oh, with Klaus going down, this now becomes very dicey. Remember, this is the buy round for KRÜ. This is one where Gambit come in with a bonus. They shouldn't be walking away with a win, but we saw KRÜ do it in the first half. We might just see the return from Gambit. The flash, it's going to catch... Oh, it's not going to catch Kesnet. He's free to take the fights up close. Oh, the spray is good for damage, but not for kills. Gambit now throw that big of a lead, and Gambit managed to snatch it back. Well, their mental's going to be in a pretty poor spot. That said, they'll have their map up next, but look at this. Nags rushing it in towards the site, trying to catch the Viper. The reveal is there, but Nats somehow comes out on top. He'll be dropped eventually, the rifle retrieved, and the site for KRÜ. This is an eco coming out of KRÜ. A low buy, let's call it. They don't have the best of weapons, but they've got scrappy bits here and there. And now in a 4v4, the potential is there. Well, Klaus goes down. That's sad.
Yeah, and Seekers is going to help an awful lot. Clear some of those close positions. The shock dart from Redgar is perfect, and any worry in this round seems to have just faded away. It's left all onto Mazzino. Again, needs to ace this one just to give them any sort of a semblance of hope, and Chronicle, he is playing unbelievably well. Side is better. It was just maybe Icebox, but this was the one where they were doing incredibly well on that attack. Already though, Shados, we know he has to be aggressive here, and he almost baited in Kesnet a little bit, just running back off the steps, giving him a little semblance of hope that he could find a kill, but he had a friend.
Drone's going to be destroyed from the defensive side, but it does exactly what it needs to, catching Nags, knowing now that there's an operator around here. We don't expect any ranged peeks to come out. Redgar's just going to stay tucked in behind that box until he gets the go-ahead, until he feels the moment, but never mind. Defo is just taking him down with Nags out of the equation. It's a 5 versus 3, and that also opens up the room for Redgar to take those peeks. He's in such a good spot to pounce as soon as they find Delzik, and that flash has revealed him. Redgar's going to start working on it, but the round's almost over already. With
how he has this level of mentality, especially on an agent like Jet, where it is purely confidence-based.
It's unbelievable. Oh, that ping coming in a little late, and that's going to be spotted up close, but that drone didn't actually manage to tag him. Now he can stay aggressive. He can hold this choke point, and they know it. That's a big slip up by KRÜ. Klaus missing that drone tag means that they cannot push in towards that Viper ultimate. They change direction. They look for mid, and they found Defo there.
Is that going to be an operator into their hands? He was definitely using the Blade Storm, but it's whether or not he had the gun as well, because if he did, that could be a huge weapon for them to bring through. Chronicle now trying to defend this with no utility. First kill goes his way, but it's a trade out from Nags, giving them an advantage, not in weaponry, but at least in personnel. However, Nat, well, the flanker killing the flanker.
Yeah, Klaus has been battling him at times, but he wasn't there to catch him this time around. Redgar was ready, absolutely. This is going to be tough. You know, for Mazzino, if he sits in this position, maybe he catches Nats coming on through if it isn't cleared. It'd be hard set to really clear this corner. Nats still takes a look, but he falls. They know now that Klaus is alone on the site, but they still have to find him. Now they've spotted up behind the pillar. With just a Sheriff in hand, this is a tough fight to take. Redgar will eliminate him, and Mazzino spotted crossing over to the side. They're ready for it, but the flash is coming through. That's going to push them off the angle. A moment, he KRÜ. No timeout called into this one. They're going to just run in straight for the duels, and Nags continues with the confidence, taking down Redgar. Tube control completely out of Gambit's hand, and the response is to go aggressive with Defo into cave and find the opening. Return 4v4, but obviously on a map as big as this, KRÜ are going to be happy enough with that. Sadly, they ran straight into Chronicle, who keeps on fragging. The Seekers primed and ready to hunt down the remaining players, but it looks like they don't even need it.
It's the standoff of the Jets. Something you definitely want to see. And while Seeker's no surprise is online again, because there's been so many kills coming through for Chronicle that he's just farming up this ult. They now know how far back these players are, and well, it looked like a freebie for Defo, but he won't connect the shot this time.
Yeah, I like the response from Gambit, though, immediately falling back. They don't want to duel and fight for middle. Why would you? With 45 seconds on the clock and your opponents in spawn, they're waiting for you to make a mistake, and eventually, if they let that clock run down, they're just going to call for the save. So no point in giving them opportunities. Instead, you'll defend the sites, the important points. And Gambit are doing a great job of that, looking to put themselves on 11, and I don't think KRÜ are going to go for this now that the time is this low. It's an honor to play against the best of the best, and they'll leave nothing on the field, and Nags is doing exactly that. This guy is on fire, leading the charge with the opening duel. Shados goes down, and that operator already paying for itself.
Going to drone in as well. So much information. Dash gone, so they'll have to fall back after this one. And I think they've even managed to spot out Nats as well. This is starting to get pretty dangerous. There's a lot of information currently there. Is Nats actually going to do this? He looks like he's about to try and make a play around the edge, and they use the Hunter's Fury to push them out of position. This is beautiful in the retake so far, but it still comes back to a 2 versus 2.
Oh, what? The shot out of Defo! Kesnet's caught, and Mazzino has to do it all! Defo keeps on frag! It's incredible. It really and truly is. KRÜ put up such a good first half, man. I was believing. I was 100% behind the 1-0 to KRÜ. But they haven't been able to do anything here, and now again, the opening duel goes to Gambit. Mazzino falls, the fast push out of the Latin Americans does actually pay off. Delzik saving the day. The Viper's pit now online will guarantee them a strong post plant.
Let's put them in a spot. No ultimates as well on the other side to try and clear this out, and Nags again. Chronicle is gone. I believe there was the ping coming out from Klaus just to give that extra little bit of information. Defo trying to close the gap and might be able to try and isolate one of these players. It's going to be Klaus on the other side, and the shot is connected. The sneaky push through catches him, though. A big round from Delzing, and it's left into the 1 versus 1. It's a perfect piece of utility out from Redgar. Can he get this final kill? Yes, he can! It is going to be that clutch out. It is going to be the first map going the way of Gambit. 9 rounds in a row for the Master.